Hello, everyone. Welcome from Germany, and in particular, welcome to the Technical University of Braunschweig. My name is Dominik Baumgarten, and I'm a research advisor at TU Braunschweig's Research Services. And today, I would like to invite you to get introduced to our university and what we have to offer. So first of all, to start with the city of Braunschweig itself, we have a population of around about 250,000 inhabitants, which makes it the second largest city in Lower Saxony. So if you have a look at the map of Germany, Lower Saxony is the area marked in green. And we're circa right in the middle of northern Germany. You see a red mark with Braunschweig on it. Which was first mentioned in 1031. So it has quite a long tradition, and it has ever since been an important cultural and political center since the Middle Ages, as it, for example, has been member of the Hanseatic Trade League, if you're familiar with that one. As I said, we have a central position in the heart of Germany, and very luckily, we rank fourth among all major German cities in terms of quality of life. We assembled some pictures to give a little proof to that. So in the bottom of the page, you see an example of the medieval architecture. You see a picture of the River Oker that surrounds the historic city center. And you see one of the central marketplaces, which basically is the city center where basic everyday life happens. Onto the research region of Braunschweig, because we're not a standalone in the area, so we're rather part of what we would like to call an ecoversity or an academic ecosystem. So as you see, Technische Universität Braunschweig is the university in that area, but there are also further non-university research institutions, like, for example, PTB, which is the German abbreviation for the National Metrology Institute. Or we have the Helmholtz Center for Infection Research, which closely collaborates with our life science departments. So that is of interest for you because as soon as you're enrolled in one of these institutions, be it the university or be it one of our partners, the benefit of a city of around about 250,000 inhabitants is that you can basically go everywhere by bus or even by bike. So you should definitely benefit from that very close and closely collaborating neighborhood. That can be in various fields of interest. For example, as I said, the field of metrology, or it can be in the field of life sciences. But I closely identify our core research areas a bit later on, just to give you an idea of the general research landscape that we're located in. A little key figures of the University of Braunschweig in 2023, as we're still working on the finalization of 24. Well, ever since it has been founded in 1745, so it's the German University of Technology with the longest history. And we always roundabout have 16,800, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less students, depending on the individual term. And round about 3,200 of them do have an international background. We have an overall staff population of 3,800 members, of which 2,300 pursue active research, and 242 of them even hold junior, assistant, or full professorships. So it's quite a career-making setting, if you will. And we have an overall annual budget of roughly 400 million per year. That might also change a little bit from year to year. But about a third of that overall budget comes from third-party funding. So we do highly encourage to not only have a look at our vacancies, but to also consider a proper written research grant, which can be of benefit for you, but also of benefit for us as the overall university. But I get a bit later further on to that. Further overview, we have 4 core research areas and 6 faculties that I'm going to display later on. Furthermore, we have 86 degree programs. Most of them are in German, but a bunch of them is in English as well. And I'll make sure to provide you with an overview of the holistic list. Overall, we have 7 interdisciplinary research centers, which I can't go into too much detail due to the current time restrictions for that presentation. But I would like in particular to point out 2 so-called collaborative research centers, which are highly prestigious and very well-funded research agglomerations within the German national funding system. But in particular, we were lucky enough to be successful with 2 clusters of excellence. which I'm going to elaborate on later. But to continue with the overview, I would like to point out the 6 faculties that we have as a comprehensive university. First of all, we have a faculty mainly for mathematics, but also for business science, social sciences. Carl Friedrich Gauss faculty is the name, and Carl Friedrich Gauss is a proper name of a famous mathematician who actually lived in Braunschweig in the 1800s. Then we have a faculty of life sciences that basically covers the broad range of life sciences, such as biology, chemistry, virology, pharmacy, and all of that. We have a faculty of architecture, civil engineering, and environmental sciences, and our researchers located there do mainly invest in all fields of sustainability. And then we have 2 faculties for engineering, one with a scope of mechanical engineering in all its facets, and one faculty of electrical engineering with a gaze to information technology and physics. And last but not least, we have a faculty of humanities and education that covers a broad range of humanities and social sciences. And you can study and research in the most areas with focus on pure research only or on education. So basically, for example, you could do a Master of Arts or a Master of Education. Further on to the research at TU Braunschweig, to get you familiar with our core research areas, we identified 4 to give a little framework to the overall research that we pursue. However, these are only suggestions and you're not limited to identify with one of these. However, they are mobility, metrology, engineering for health, and future city. I guess that mobility and metrology are more or less self-explaining, while engineering for health covers the classic life sciences with a technological gaze. For example, we hold classic pharmacy, but we also host an institute and a center for pharmaceutical technology. So always life sciences and beyond, if you will. Future City is an amalgamation of probably the most diverse portfolio of research fields. It covers all fields of humanities. It covers architecture. It covers social sciences, social engineering, politics. So basically, it's a holistic work to clarify the thought on if there is something as a future city, what would it look like from probably all academic angles. Then I briefly mentioned the so-called clusters of excellence. And in very brief, in Germany, we have a national competition for universities, and it comes in 2 steps. And the first step is to apply for these so-called clusters. They are highly prestigious, come with a running time for 7 years, and they get many millions of funding for research. And they always have a scope, for example, sustainable and energy efficient aviation or quantum frontiers, which serve the research areas of mobility and metrology that I just explained. And they are probably the highest funding that you can get for joint research centers, if you will. And we were lucky enough to have 2 of them, which had us qualified for the second step of the national competition, which is the so-called University of Excellence. In 2018, we didn't get that title, even though we got into the first step, but we're currently preparing the next proposals. And you're all warmly invited to keep your fingers crossed for TU Braunschweig to get the title in 2025, which is very soon. A little focus on TU Braunschweig International. As I told you, we have around about 3,200 international students that come from mainly 110 countries and mark between 19, 20, depending on the term, % of all student population. Furthermore, we have 310 international partner universities. Mainly one of the institutes has one partnership with an institute at a partner university. But overall, we have 170 Erasmus agreements that you're also warmly invited to benefit from. So if you study with us and you're in Germany, then you're also eligible for Erasmus funding, and you could have a huge benefit from 170 existing collaborations. We have 4 main strategic partners on the university level, which are the University of Strathclyde, which is located in Glasgow, Scotland, a Tampere University in Finland, the University of Rhode Island in the US, and UNAM Mexico in Mexico. And we have key exchange partners that are currently the US, Canada, South America, India, China, Japan, and Singapore, but that is just a snapshot of the current status. So basically, wherever you're coming from, if you're interested in researching or working with us, you're warmly invited to apply. And we basically judge on your academic achievement. So don't feel afraid if you think, oh, I'm not in the list of the key exchange partners. Really doesn't matter at all. It's an open house and you're very welcome to apply. So last but not least, my main aim is to invite you to come study and work with us. So we're looking continuously for master students from all academic fields, whether that be degree programs for complete study, or whether that be internships on an individual basis, or structured summer schools with various thematic scopes. We're also looking for PhD students from all academic fields, be it for an individual PhD or structured doctorate. And we're also looking for postdoctoral researchers from all academic fields as well. And very least, I put in my contact data because I threw quite a lot of information at you, and I can't always expect to be everything totally clear. We always do our best to make it as clear as possible. But in any case, don't hesitate to drop me an email, send me a message on LinkedIn, or have a look at our webpage, which should also provide you with various kinds of information. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention. Hope you have a lovely day enjoying the fair. And you never know, maybe you meet 1, 2, 3 or more of you in Braunschweig. So my last words would be welcome to Germany and welcome to TU Braunschweig.